Have you ever eaten a full meal and then found yourself standing in front of the fridge 10 minutes later, just a little confused? This happened to me like 2 weeks ago, and it was because I was scrolling TikTok while I was eating. Not proud of this, to be honest. I literally made some tacos with some leftover chicken that I had had. I ate the whole thing while scrolling TikTok. And then I walked to the fridge because I was like, oh, I know I got some chicken in there that I could make into a taco. And I was looking for this chicken that I had literally just eaten and I couldn't find it. And it was very confusing until I realized that I had cooked that and eaten it already. And I'm not proud of this. And I feel a little bit dumb. But my loss is your gain here because didn't remember eating it. My brain was really just logged into the TikTok feed, watching someone build a cabin out of sticks, not looking at my food, not thinking about it. And that's when it really hit me that like the black mirror, the phone in my hand, it's not just stealing my time and making me feel a little bit of joy in my existential crisis. It's also stealing my energy, my focus, my satiety, probably my gains too. Welcome to Get Leaner and Live Longer, the show for busy people who want to maximize their energy, burn fat, and build a body that feels as good as it looks. I'm your host, Nate Palmer. I've been a coach since 2008 and I'm a reluctant life coach to anyone who's found themselves scrolling instead of sleeping, training, or eating like a human. So today we're digging into how your phone and specifically your scrolling habit is quietly wrecking your metabolism, your workouts, and your ability to feel any sort of emotions. Hopefully by the end of this episode, we'll get into why scrolling is linked to weight gain, fatigue, how it hijacks our brain and our workouts, and 3 things that you can do today to break the loop without turning your phone into a distress beacon and moving to a rural cabin in Montana. So if you're down, stick around. Let's do this. So not only has scrolling taken the joy out of eating for me, but I also used to think that I was a bad sleeper, but turned out I was just kind of a dumb sleeper. You know, I'd get in bed at 9:30, trying to be asleep by 10 p.m. And then I just open Instagram just for a minute, just to check, just to see what was happening. You know, if anyone responded to my pithy comments or liked my videos. And then the next thing I know, it's 11:47 p.m. I'm deep into a 12-part reel on how to survive a bear attack. But the science backs this up too. Scrolling stimulates your dopamine and your cortisol, which both make it harder to fall asleep. Dopamine is the joy, the pleasure hormone. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It's great for helping you wake up. It's important. Both are very important to us, but we're getting artificial dumps of both of these when we open our phone, especially late at night. There's a 2021 study in Nature Communications that found that late night phone usage delayed your melatonin release. That's that sleep hormone that helps you get that eye pressure, the sleep pressure, like where you get the heavy eyelids, and it would reduce your REM sleep and your deep sleep if you're scrolling late at night. So new rule for me is no phones an hour before bed. So poor sleep isn't just poor sleep. It doesn't just make you wake up tired. It actually creates more ghrelin the next day. That's your hunger hormone. We're talking a lot about hormones, and for a good reason. You know, like they are innately connected to everything that we do. And if we are artificially creating or decreasing these hormones through scrolling, that's a big problem. So when you have poor sleep, you have more hunger hormone, ghrelin. That means you have more cravings and less energy the next day. People who are also getting poor sleep are statistically more likely to overeat the next day. And on average, they consume about 370 more calories than they would need to otherwise. So our phones aren't just stealing our sleep. It's literally making us hungrier tomorrow too. I also have a home gym at my house and I fall into this trap a lot, but like I go to do a workout and I open my phone between sets and then suddenly it's 12 minutes later and I've completely forgot what exercise I was doing. I'll take a 45-minute workout and I'll stretch it into an hour and a half because I'm just dicking around on my phone the entire time. So I sat down the other day for a set of split squats. And this is, you know, if you've ever done Bulgarian split squats, you understand that sometimes your brain just needs a vacation from that because it's in a fight or flight mode. But I just opened my phone to change the song. I just wanted to bump something up, throw some Nickelback in the headphones. You know how it goes. And then it's like, I'm like 6 DMs deep. I'm a clip of John Jones highlights. And I've been resting now for 11 minutes and I haven't even finished my second set. This happens all the time. And then all of a sudden, like my time is up for the workout. I don't feel like I'm mentally there anymore. I'm completely checked out. The rest of the workout doesn't go the way I want it to because I've injected some artificial dopamine release and, cooled off. Not so much these days in Arizona, but like your body's just not in a zone, especially if you're sitting down checking your phone, which is what I did. So I got up stiff, didn't feel good. The workout just, I kind of limped my way through it and finished, but it was not anywhere close to as good as it could have been if I just stayed focused, put my head down and done the work, put my phone on airplane mode. But science shows us that cognitive distractions, like mental things that like distract us during our workouts, will actually reduce your motor unit recruitment and lower your perceived exertion thresholds, which means that you are going to be able to use less muscle and it's going to make you feel more tired. So the more distracted you are during your workouts, the more tired you're going to feel, the less muscle you're going to build. There's a 2019 study that showed that people who used their phones between sets had longer rest times, less total workout volume. And right now we are at the lowest point in human history of actual work and exercise and movement in our days. We're spending between 6 and 12 hours sitting down every single day. And so for us to like decrease our work volume because we're on our phone during the 1 hour, 3, 4, 5 days per week that we're actually in the gym is just a huge missed opportunity. Like maybe you don't have to be working out and doing a set every single second, but if you're in the gym, you should be devoting that time to training and getting better, improving yourself. So whether that's workouts, stretching, active mobility, some sort of core exercise that you can put in between sets, do something that keeps you on track, on point, make sure that you are getting the most out of the small time that we spend every single week training. And the worst part about it, like, is after a workout, I still feel like I trained hard, but I really didn't train hard. I really didn't get as much out of it as I could have. I trained distracted, and that's a missed opportunity. It feels bad. It feels bad when you already like set aside that time. It'd be like going on a date with your girlfriend, your wife, your spouse, and then spending a bunch of time on your phone. Like you get home and like, how valuable was that actually? How big of a missed opportunity was it to actually have some quality, non-distracted time? But that's how we treat ourselves when we use our phones, when we scroll while we're eating, while we're training. And here's the thing about eating is that if you're scrolling during your meals, you are probably also going to be eating more and enjoying your food less. So like I said, when I went and made that taco, like I don't even remember eating it. Like a chicken taco that's a delicacy. That's a delightful experience. And if I had just sat down and actually taken a bite and felt like I could actually chew through it, enjoy it, and be present for the experience, not only would I have enjoyed my food more, but I would have actually been more satiated. I would have gotten more out of those calories, because when you're distracted, you actually will end up eating more calories. There was a 2013 study that found that people who ate while they were distracted will actually consume 25% more calories during that meal and then later in the day as well, because distraction decreases your awareness of what's going on in your body. Your brain doesn't fully register that you've eaten, how much you've eaten, what you've eaten. So you kind of just glom through it. Back when I was trying to really bulk up, I would actually eat most of my meals on the couch watching TV, and I would eat them out of a mixing bowl because, well, we call it a daddy bowl because, obviously, but I would eat more food if I was just watching TV while I was eating. And I did that on purpose because, eating a bunch of rice and chicken all the time wasn't the most fun thing. So I would just try to distract myself. So there was another study actually showed that memory of your last meal plays a big role in your satiety. So if you forget what you ate or when you ate or how much you ate, thanks to your phone, you're way more likely to eat again sooner. So scrolling while you're eating is like turning your digestive system into background noise rather than having that be front and center. And your body does not respond well to being put on the back burner like that. So like, what do you do here in this situation? Because rather than becoming a full digital monk mode, throwing your phone into the ocean and then moving up to the wilderness where you don't have access to Wi-Fi anymore, it's probably not in the cards for most of us who use our phones and computers for work, who can work from home. Like what are some ways that we can put some safeguards on this? Because if we want to burn fat, build muscle, and have amazing energy, we do need to protect our attention. Because not only are these phones distracting us from the important things, the time with our loved ones. I hate so much. My kids are like, can you put your phone down? I'm like, I'm the worst parent in the entire world. How dare I? Our training sessions are distracted. Our meals are distracted. And not only that, we are rewiring our brain in a lot of ways, because there's no aspect of nature that gives us these quick dopamine hits in the same way that these Instagram shorts, YouTube, TikTok, these easy, fast, digestible things. And what's crazy is that when you ask people what they watched, they scroll for an hour and you're like, what did you watch? What did you learn? What did you like retain from that? It's like 1%, if that. They can maybe one video that stuck out to them, which is crazy because considering how much time we spend on these devices, absolute insanity. So we are rewiring our brain to only respond to quick hits of dopamine. So when something takes a little bit longer or is a little bit harder, we're already setting ourselves up for failure. And they, like the old adage, like good things take time or good things come to those who wait. Like we are no longer giving ourselves the ability to have truly good things because everything that we do is geared towards these short term quick hits of dopamine, things that are pleasurable in the moment, but leave us ultimately unfulfilled. So talking about that fast food, that junk food. We are rewiring our brain to want to eat junk food because it's highly palatable and gives us a dopamine hit. We are rewiring our brain to want to watch porn and disconnect from actual relationships with real human beings. We are rewiring our brain to want to watch 8-second clips because we couldn't possibly watch a 1 minute long segment that's actually edifying to us or helps us in any capacity. So what do we do? Short of throwing our phone into the ocean, what do we do here? So here's what I'm trying, because I don't want to just sit here and be like, here's what I recommend for you to do this. Because like, this is a problem for me as well. Obviously, I literally forgot I made tacos. So number one rule that I'm putting into place for myself is no scrolling during meals. I have allowed myself to read. That's the guilty pleasure, which probably there's something along the lines of dopamine in there, but I'll still read during meals, but it's just a little less like high impact, hardcore, quick hits. So I sit down, I'll try to eat, like look at my food. I'll try to actually taste my food. And then I've been trying to chew my food more completely, because I feel like number one, that's going to give you better access to the nutrient density in the food, and it's going to keep you more full. When you chew your food more, you actually mix in saliva, which helps break down that food. The enzymes in your mouth are amazing at this, and you'll actually get more out of the food you're eating. So if you want to eat less, chew more. That's a fun tip for you. Another thing I've been doing is putting my phone into airplane mode for my workouts. So I get on a playlist that I don't need to touch. And then I just try to rock it through the workouts. Cause I notice even when I go into my phone to like change the song or something like that, I just can end up on Instagram. And I don't even know how I got there. It's atrocious. It makes me hate myself. And then my hard rule is no screens 30 minutes before bed, but I try to put my phone down an hour before bed, as much as I possibly can. So if you have trouble with this, what I did at first was I put an alarm on my phone for 8:30 and it said, "Stop scrolling, you big dumb idiot." And that seems to help because for some reason calling myself names feels like it's doing the work. That's right. Yeah. So I'm not anti-technology. I love a good meme. I post a lot on social media, and I think you should follow me on social media at _$1,000,000body. And I know that's a little bit the antithesis of what we're just been talking about. But like, if you're constantly tired, if you're always hungry, if you're stuck in a fat loss plateau, if your workouts have been suffering, maybe it's not a willpower issue. Maybe it's a screen time issue. And if you even just like for like the next couple days can monitor your progress on this, not allow yourself to mindlessly scroll. Like, and you can even like, if you need to get hardcore with this, delete the Instagram app. So if you want to look at Instagram or TikTok or whatever, you actually have to re-download it. Just put a little bit of friction in your path. Try that out for a couple days and see how you feel. See how your clarity is, see how your energy is, see how you feel when you get back on it. Because when I took a week off from try to avoid a lot of those things, when I went back and I started looking at reels again, I felt dirty. I felt like sluggish. It was a weird sensation that made me feel like I wasn't, I was doing something wrong, or there was like something going on. It's like when you go on like a really clean eating and you're like, you're dialed in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then all of a sudden you have a pizza and a couple of beers. You wake up the next day and you're like, what happened to me last night? Did I get into a fight with a mountain lion? My brain feels like death. It just showcases the discrepancy between what our brain is attracted to and what is actually healthy for our brain. So If that hits you in the face like it hit me in the fridge that day, then do me a favor. Give me a follow. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. And I know the irony is real. I'm asking for a follow on Instagram after this, but I promise I'm using it for good. I'm trying to give you daily tips, real strategies, and literally 0 knife restoration videos, probably. Hopefully this was good for you. If not, sorry. I'll see you next time.